Hello, champion. I'm Coach Tina. And boy, I got something to talk to you about today because when I see patterns, it intrigues me and I want to share them with you because I think that's super important. So, the question that I have for you today is what are you telling yourself? Hmm. Drop a line in the comments below if there is a message that you have internalized that you are putting out intentionally or not every day. And here's why this struck me. It's because over the course of the last couple of weeks, I have been introduced to several concepts. And the one last night was just I'm like, oh, I got to bring this up. So the first introduction was Mel Robbins, and she was in Jamie Kern Lima's event, Unstoppable. And it was just an amazing event. And Mel Robbins came on to talk, and she talked about a new practice that she's recommending that everybody do, where every time you go and see yourself in a mirror, you give yourself a high five and you talk positivity to yourself. You build yourself up in the mirror. And I love that concept. And I was like, yeah, every time I see myself in the mirror, I'm high fiving. I didn't do it. Okay. I think about it occasionally when I'm in the restroom, but I didn't do it. So love the concept. Not too long after that, I did UPW. So UPW is with Tony Robbins, and it's this great event. And one of the things that he has us do, now he does it as a competition. He says, look into the screen and say, I own you. And he says, as part of a competition, it's very important to speak these words. And he says, look at the screen and tell the screen. Now, of course, when I look at the screen, I see myself right now because it's recording. But you look at the screen and you say, I own you, baby. Well, I didn't think much of it. I did it a couple times. Haha, it's part of the exercise, right? Well, the other morning I got up and Chris has been working early in the morning, so I'm alone. So I leap out of bed. I do my, it's going to be a great day. And I go into the restroom and I flip on the light and I see myself in the mirror and I say, I own you, baby. And I went, oh my gosh, I do own you. You are mine and I control you. You are not in control of me, body. I get to decide what foods I want and I get to decide when I exercise and I get to decide what mood I'm in. And I just had this full out discussion with myself in the mirror. And that felt pretty empowering. So lately, every morning I get up, I own you, baby. And it just kind of makes me chuckle. And I had already been working on, so kind of give you a preliminary on this, before any of this stuff with Mel, there's a big mirror in our closet, we moved recently. And I was recognizing that every time I went to get undressed, I was looking at my body and going, ugh, you've done it again. You've gained some weight. You're just never going to get your middle part figured out. And I thought, why am I talking to myself like this? I need to look at myself in the mirror every day and say, I love you. I love the way your body is. Your body has done so much for you. I mean, I had 3 wonderful babies with my body, and I think I look pretty good. I just don't look the way that in my head I want to look. And that is just all bad talk. So, preliminary, I've been doing that. So now I'm switching. Now, when I get up in the morning, I see my body, I'm like, that's not too bad, you know? So, trying to get it into a much higher range. So, last night, my mindset coach, we had a Zoom, and he was talking about sleep. And he said, look, one of the important parts of sleep is that you have a routine. And he kind of went through his routine and he got to the end and it was all stuff I knew. So I'm like, oh yeah, I do that, I do that, I do that. Oh yeah. And then he said, another tool that you could use is a mirror. And I'm like, a tool you can use to go to sleep is a mirror? And he said, before I go to sleep, will do eye gazing. I'm like, you'll do eye gazing. How cool is that? Just looking, but there's all kinds of studies that say when you're in a relationship with somebody, looking them in the eyes for more than 20 seconds. So you've got the hug for 20 seconds and then just this nonverbal communication deep into your soul. It's very powerful. So why would you not do that with yourself? Improve your relationship with yourself. How cool is that? But then he says loving things to himself. He's compassionate and kind. And I thought, wow, that is amazing. So he actually recommends 7 things. So he says how proud he is of himself. He gives himself 7 reasons that he's proud of himself. Well, that's kind of cool, right? And then he forgives himself for 7 things that he did that day that didn't go the way that he planned. And then he commits himself to his new plans and what he's going to do the next day. So I thought, oh, that's very interesting practice. Now, to me, it sounds a lot like Ho'oponopono, which if you're not familiar with that practice, I think you could get there a little bit quicker, but it's, and I haven't figured out yet if you have to say the 4 statements in a particular sequence or just phrase it when it comes into play. So for instance, the 4 statements are, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry. So like if Chris and I are irritating each other and we're getting caught up, it's been great for us to break the pattern, and we'll just say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And you say it back and forth to each other. And so you just kind of pick the category. It's really easy to just say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And just like pick the one. It's always one of those 4 phrases that can easily end a statement or a sentence or an interaction with somebody. And the cool thing is, you don't have to say it out loud. You can think it and have it be impactful and powerful. How cool is that, right? So just some stuff to give you an idea about what you're telling yourself, and see if you can't up your game a little bit and give yourself a better message and see how that impacts your life. So if you will, put some love on this post, either comment below or put some hearts or greater on there so that other people will be alerted that this post is in our group. And then don't forget that you are designed by God for greatness and a purpose. And you matter. What you do matters. Your life is so very important. I'm doing these rants online and I'm loving it, where I'm just telling people how amazing and cool and resourceful and how big you are, that you will show up every day to do what you're put on this earth to do. That, my friend, makes you a champion. Have a blessed day, and I will talk to you soon.